So today we are going to be creating this render, and yes, we are going to use a liquid simulation. So without further ado, I'm going to start straight away. I will delete all of this and I will bring in the previous product, namely the Sauvage Dior that we made in the previous tutorial. So I'm going to bring it and place it right over here. I will bring this upwards and I will add a plane, simply for reference. Now I will add a UV sphere, which I will place right here, or perhaps we want the liquid to come from the side. So let's place it on the x-axis, bring it up. Now let's create a cube. Let's make sure that it's on the plane. You can hold Control in order to snap it to the grid. Now I'm going to press S and scale it up from the 3D cursor. So we have to select 3D cursor right here, scale it up, something like this. Then I'm going to press S, Shift Z in order to remove the Z from the scale, and I will scale this up all the way over here. But this is not to scale, by the way. So this bottle is approximately 3 meters. And that's good in this case because we want to make sure that our liquid simulation will actually work. If you make the particles too small, things will look weird and the calculations might not even work out the way you planned. So I will select this UV sphere first. This will be our inflow object. So I'm going to the Physics tab, Fluid, and select Flow. Then I will select Liquid instead of Smoke. And instead of Geometry, I will select Inflow. This is kind of counterintuitive because inflow makes sure that there's water coming out of it, and outflow makes sure that the water is being deleted. So it's kind of counterintuitive. You think that inflow would be the deleting part and the outflow would be water coming out of it. That's not the case. Let's select inflow. I'm going to set this to 3. Initial velocity should be turned on, and I will set the initial x to a higher value, something like 10. Then I will select the domain and go to Fluid. Make sure that this is a domain. Very good, but it's not a gas, it's a liquid. And we have to play around with the resolution division. Later on, this is going to be very important if you want to have a quality render. I'm going to set it to 64 for now because that's pretty fast still. We want to go into the particles and I want to have some spray. I'm not going to make foam, and the particles are kind of optional. You can also just do a liquid simulation, and if you have the liquid simulation, it will seem like the bottle is standing in pretty clear and serene waters. While if you use the spray, it seems like it's really bouncing into it. So it kind of depends on what type of vibe you're trying to create with your render. You can do both. So we got this turned on. I'm going to leave all of these settings, well, pretty much on default. I will go into the cache, set this to all, set it to end. And now we need to go into this material right here, select the fluid in the Physics Properties tab, go over to Effector, and set it to collision, sampling substeps. I'm going to set it to 2, surface thickness. I'm always putting this upwards just a little bit, and I will also select is planar. So now all we need to do is click on the domain, scroll down, go to the cache. I've set it to 100 frames. This should be enough. And then I will bake it and see what we get. All right, so let's have a look at the first rendition of this. And it's moving towards the wrong side because we had the X towards the positive. It should have gone into the negative. But you can already see that our liquid is bouncing into this object. Well, not really, is it? So we should probably play around with some of these settings. We see our spray as well. Before we do that, let's set this to cycles, GPU, and go over to this material. Let's go into render mode. Let's bring this upwards. Let's go to the shader editor, new, let's delete the principal BSDF. And let's add a glass BSDF, and then I will set it to surface. IOR of 1.33 because that's water. And then I will add an HDRI. So let's go over to your HDRI manager. In this case, I'm using Lumio, and I will select, I got one from before, Zwartkop's Curve Afternoon, which you can get on HDRI Haven. So I will apply this, and then we get this cool looking water. Now this plane that we made in the beginning, I'm going to give it a new material and it will be black. Very simple stuff. Now let's make sure that we also have a camera for this. So I'm going to place it somewhere over here so we can still see Dior and Sauvage. Place the camera right there. Make sure it's in the middle. And let's set it to 80mm focal length. There's a couple of steps that we need to take right now in order for this render to work out. We've got our, let's see, our empty with all our objects in this. Let's select all of it. Let's press on M, give it a new collection. I'm going to call it Sauvage. And then I will make a light. and I will already light this object because the basis now is correct. If you are already getting a fluid simulation that looks like this, then it's going into the right direction. Now we want to make sure that we are lighting the bottle correctly. I'm not going to make it orange, I'm going to give it more of a bluish tone by increasing the color temperature. Let's make a new one, maybe light it from the other side, something like this. Could work out, maybe it should be further, closer. Now let's make one more, Shift D, and let's place this one somewhere over here. Scale it up a bit, and now this is lit pretty decently. We've got some cool edge highlights, stuff like that. Maybe one of those is too much. So now that we've got our lighting set up, we don't want the light to work in the water because it's going to give us some weird reflections. It might even create fireflies, stuff like that. So I'm going to add light linking, and in order to do that I will select all the lights in the scene, place them in a new collection, Sauvage Bottle Lights, give it a name, and I will name it Sauvage Bottle Lights right here, target Sauvage. Add light linking, and now it doesn't work on the water anymore, but only on the bottle. And this is exactly what we wanted to have happen. We can notice that there's something going wrong here. And that's because the bottle is stopping this water. But the way to fix it would be to take our black plane and bringing it down. Then we will bring in a new plane, scale it up, give it a glass material. So let's select the water last, go to material, copy material to select it, and now we also get some water right over here. Now if you want the water to look a little bit more interesting, there's two ways to do that. We can either sculpt it, going to be by a subdivision, subdivide it a couple of times, like this, then go into sculpt mode, use the draw brush and give it a bit more of an interesting shape. And in that fashion, we are going to blend it in to the environment. And you can spend some time on this in order to get it right. And this is going to be the final render. However, there are a couple of things we need to change. Before I do that, let's go over here, mesh, let's add a icosphere. Let's add another one, enable proportional editing by pressing on O. And let's shape this to be a different type of spray bubble. Something like this. I'm going to mess around with it, and I will select all three of those, go into a collection, call it droplets. Then I will go into this mesh, go to the particles, and under spray we have 83,500 fluid particles for this frame. I'm going into render, go to collection, enable droplets, and now we have droplets on here. We have to randomize the scale. We can play around with the scale anyways, so 0.02 maybe. And now finally all we have to do is select all of these, auto shade smooth, select the water last, go to the material tab, copy material to select it, and now we have those same glass particles in the water. Now what you can also do is go into this material for the glass. Let's copy this material, let's remove the glass, make it a principal BSDF. Right there, and then it will be white. And if you want to make this look a little bit better, you can go into the transmission, bring that up, then also go into the emission and give it a slight emission, and that will also work out and look pretty good. So it kind of depends on what you want to do. I'm not quite settled on it. I probably will use the glass shader instead of the emission one. Now, if you already think this is a pretty cool render and you want to render this out, one thing I would recommend adding right here is a point light. You're probably wondering why a point light. I'm going to make it orange. I'm going to bring it underneath here, somewhere under the water. Then I will increase the strength. And perhaps what you want to do is go over to shading, light linking, and let's add our water plane in here, which is going to be the cube, and then disable it. And now you can have some pretty cool looking lighting effects right here as well. I think this adds a little bit to the render. You may or may not like it. Do whatever you like. So this liquid simulation is not the type of quality that we wanted to have. Go into the physics. Let's go to the domain, let's free all. I'm going to set the narrow bandwidth to 4. This will increase the amount of particles, basically making it more sticky instead of moving out of each other. So if you have a very thin liquid simulation right now and it doesn't look like it's sticking together, then you can increase that value and it should work out. I'm going to set the resolution to 256. So let's go over to bake all and I will wait for this. So once you have your liquid simulation, one final thing that you could do is add an image right here. So I'm going to add a moon and bring it in the back and make sure that the composition looks nice, such as in this final image. And in this fashion, you will get a pretty cool looking render. So that's everything I wanted to show you. You have probably already seen the final result, so you can achieve something like that too. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.